diggity dog. Breaking, diggity dog. Shark. Breaking. Diggity dog.
Hello there, children. Welcome to episode 38 of the T40's podcast. My name is Alexander the Great with
Benson the Terrible.
You're not Alexander.
Sam.
I'm Ryan.
I'm Michael, the marginally acceptable person.
You had to add that in there.
Pretty
in case you didn't
accurate.
know. So today's podcast is going to be pretty terrible. We got emails and voicemails to listen to. I'll do my beer of the week. Mike's going to talk about selling Iran, and Benson's going to talk about movie titles. Mm-hmm. Then we're going to do top 5 most wanted, of course. Mm-hmm. If you want to send us an email at podcast@tipping40s.com or leave us a voicemail at 218-666-8407. So, we've got a bunch of emails to read today because you guys like sending us emails now.
That's cool.
Yeah, thank you. It's always fun. The interactivity is the future generations of social web 2.3.
It's great when we can all come together.
So this one's kind of funny. Some guy sent me this. His name's Mike.
It's me.
It's him. He says, "Hey dudes, I work at the student union at my grad school. There's an undergrad club here, video game club.
Oh, God.
I'm writing this email from work at 10 p.m. on a Friday night. Sucks for you. They just showed up in a big main room of the union and set up an N64 on the projector. They seem to have ADD or something. Really? As they turned on Mario Kart 64, switched off immediately, put in Pokemon Stadium, turned that off immediately, and then I was suddenly inundated with the sweet stylings of diggity dog.
Yeah!
That's pretty sweet.
It was an entirely too exciting experience, but I thought I would share it with you.
I will say, does that ever happen to you with old
Sharper
games? Like,
Road.
I can't wait to play this old video game system. You put one in, you play it for 10 seconds.
Yeah, it's like,
no. And then
the
you,
next-
put another one, you end up playing like 40 in like an hour.
Yeah. It's called an emulator.
Yeah.
That's
Too
emulators
many
ruined
options.
games.
It's even worse because then you don't even have to switch the game. You just go, oh, fuck this shit. And you just change it. You click it. It's like 2 clicks.
All right, here's another one from Doug. I'm really drunk.
Oh,
Benson,
okay.
you seriously do look like Tim McClare, the lead singer of Rise Against, which is my favorite band of all time. So I guess that makes you my favorite member of Tipping 40s.
I don't know why that would...
No offense
make
to Mike
you the
Ryan and Alex.
favorite member, but yes, I've heard that many times. I look a lot like that guy.
Is that like a Valentine's to you? It's kind of like a Valentine.
Sure, close enough.
Choose me.
People always make jokes about how I look like Ron Weasley, but I look way more like that guy than I do like Ron. I mean, I look like that. They're like twins almost.
Yeah, but everyone knows Ron Weasley.
Yeah, that's the difference.
All right, here's one from Stephanie. She's talking about cute animals. She's pretty fucking pissed. Babies are stupid and shit. I'm tired of fucking seeing them every fucking time and seeing stupid fucking women trying to force them on everyone else.
This is my kind of lady.
Case in point being my fucking cousin trying to get her little shit spot to come give me a hug or say hi, whatever the fuck else. I don't want that shit. Get that stupid fucker away. God damn it, cute, adorable animals. However, phone turned off, provide a temporary distraction from how miserable my life is, so they get a pass.
I like the adjective shit spawn.
Yeah. I call kids little
I do
shitheads.
actually, I do agree with her on one thing. I mean, obviously, I'm not a big fan of kids anyway, but one thing I really agree with is when people go, "You got to come over and see my kid." I'm like, why? The kid won't remember seeing me.
You gotta
Kid
come
doesn't
over and
give-
see my bowel movement.
Yeah, it's something that's completely unmemorable for me and completely unmemorable for the kid. So why do I need to come see your kid?
Because she wants to brag.
You gotta see
oh,
the
that's
Hey,
why.
I squirted
baby.
something out. Here,
Yeah.
come over and
It's
look at
just,
this.
you gotta see the baby.
Yep, exactly.
I want to ask though. Her name's Stephanie, right?
Yes.
Stephanie, do you ever dream of just shaking babies like in your sleep, just shaking the fuck out of them?
Mike's fetish
tossing
is
them?
found.
Stephanie Sids. That's her name. All right. Another one from William here.
He was saying that I was wrong. I was talking about the chicken nugget eating chick last week.
Yeah, I
that was
like
from the
this
Daily
email.
Mail. That was from the Daily Mail, which is like a tabloid. Oops, I don't know anything about British newspaper. Sorry.
I thought Daily Mail was like crappy, but not totally crappy.
No, Daily Mail is a tabloid.
So the chicken nugget
sorry.
thing was fake.
My mistake.
I didn't know it was from that.
So another one about babies and baby animals from Amanda. She's linked us an article pretty much out by the New York Times called The Cute Factor. And they're talking about how, people are like pretty much in love with cute stuff.
Yeah.
So Benson has some of the article. The part I thought was the best in the article for him to read. So go ahead and read it.
Okay. Amanda said,
Well, this is what the article said.
Oh, okay. The human cuteness detector is set at such a low bar, researchers said, that it sweeps in and deems cute practically anything remotely resembling a human baby or a part thereof, and so ends up including the young of virtually every mammalian species, fuzzy-headed birds like Japanese cranes, woolly bear caterpillars, a bobbing balloon, a big round rock stacked on a smaller rock, a colon, a hyphen, and a close parenthesis typed in succession.
No one said anything about cuttlefish, though. I've heard people call those things cute, and they're like squid creatures.
I've heard almost anything be called cute, and most of them are not, so...
And she asked, what do you think of this? Does it make sense or bullshit? It makes sense, but...
From an evolutionary
it doesn't
standpoint, it makes
excuse their
sense, yeah.
behavior. It's still just... People just...
Yeah.
Yeah, you should cue your evolutionary traits and unlearn them.
This one I can very much relate to, actually, because Ryan did this to me all the fucking time. So this is from Janie. Hey guys, just wanted to start by saying I love your podcast. I'm a little behind in the podcast, blah, 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 blah. I have this problem with some people on Facebook because I'm still in high school, and a lot of us are still pretty stupid despite being nearly adults now. We're not nearly adults.
No, you're not even close.
Where people act like they have never heard of Google before. Someone I sort of know recently asked what first world problems meant, and I gave them a link to Google. They freaked out and said something like, I'm being social, try it sometime, and deleted my comment. Of course, they didn't actually look it up. They just kept asking what this relatively common phrase means. I don't even know what to make of this. So Ryan used to do this to me all the fucking time.
Because you don't use Google.
You're
wasting both of our time.
We were talking, and he would send me some stupid acronym of like 5 letters. I'm like, I don't know what that acronym stands for. Why don't you just tell me? He's like, why don't you just Google it? I'm like, no, you just fucking tell me.
You're
Stop using
wasting my
acronyms.
time. Sorry for your ignorance.
Stop using acronyms, you fucking asshole.
We got a debate.
No, just a little side note. Not to. We don't mean to condescend by saying you're not an adult, but
You'll realize it later when you are.
You're not even close. You'll realize it because it's when all of your goals in life move into being one goal, and then you realize you can't achieve it, and that's that's when you're an adult. Let me tell you
Pretty
that.
good. I like this next one.
From Shaler?
Yeah. The subject is Michael Bay is making Transformers 4. The body is fuck.
Yeah.
Actually, I like this one. It's from Tara May. She says, I work with Ryan. I love the podcast. You guys are hilarious.
That's great.
Shout out to Tara May, who is
My coworker.
who is Ryan's coworker.
So we don't want to talk any shit about your company during this.
No, you can talk shit about it.
Okay.
Yeah, when he talked about his coworker not washing his hands, she actually mentioned it to him, and she thought it was great, which was really funny to me.
So here's another one from Paper Line. This one's kind of long, so I kind of skim it through. Hey guys, I know it's a little late, but whatever. I guess I just wanted to send this in to back Benson up because I know exactly what it's like. I've always thought the same way. He's talking about your big rant or whatever.
Yeah.
A little more radically, even like organized sports in Hollywood are manufactured in part to keep people too pacified from fixing their situations, and while not a truther per se, I think it's absolutely not only possible, very likely considering the same thing happened with Pearl Harbor. He spelled Pearl Harbor with a U, English style.
Ah, okay.
I think what he's trying to say is that...
And I guess I take shit from my family for it. Saying what's wrong with the world in a big laundry list is daunting, and most people don't really like thinking about it, which is fair. But I guess at the same time, it can really suck when you are really pouring your heart out about something and sort of get shit on and called a crazy man.
I think there's some truth to the fact that people are too distracted by like Hollywood and organized sports. It's the same thing that happened with like the Roman Colosseums when the fall, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, there's historical precedents of people getting distracted by trivial shit.
Well, I didn't read this book, but what's it from Kurt Vonnegut? Grand Falloon or whatever, like false associations.
That's different actually, but it's a similar thing. If you don't know what a Grand Falloon is, it's from the book Cat's Cradle, and it's essentially a collection of people who are centered around false pretenses, like Hoosiers is the example he uses in the book. Like people from Indiana are Hoosiers, but really a Hoosier isn't anything. It's just like where you're born. It doesn't make you
like twihards.
Yeah, well, that kind of
diehards.
But really, he refers to any. He says like here are some good examples of Grand Falloons. He says like sports teams and things like that, and then he's like any nation, anywhere, at any time.
Nationality
is
kind of stupid.
It's completely irrelevant.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway.
So yes.
So those are the emails. Thanks.
Yeah, those are good.
I also heard we have voicemails.
We have quite a few voicemails, but we're only going to play a few of them. because we got a lot to do here. So
No, because they're only good ones, is what you meant. So.
that's also
No, we got a lot of drunk ones that were funny, but they're not pertaining to anything. So.
yeah. All right, here we go.
Hi, T40's. This is a little quick message for Doss Benson. It's regarding your segment last week on the podcast. I was just wondering if you have read either The Shock Doctrine by Naomi Klein
No.
or Griftopia by Matt Tatey. If
No.
you're in a good mood, they're guaranteed to make you feel like crap. Anyway, thanks for all the good times. Keep it up. Bye.
Well, the good news is I'm never in a good mood. So.
I actually read Griftopia. It's a fantastic book. It's a book about basically how our economic meltdown occurred and how it's going to continue. Basically, how the powers that be will continue this process as long as we deregulate everything. So it's a very good book.
All right. Well, thanks for the voicemail, and I will actually try to read at least one of those. If I get around to it, I'll update.
He's still finishing up his highlights magazine.
Yeah.
Dude,
Fight
where
the
the fuck
powers
are the
that be.
bells?
No,
All the bells.
the newest Playboy issue. Some of the articles are a little long, so I'm trying to get through them. You know,
Paragraph or two.
op-eds are tough.
I like Transformers.
Okay, so here is another one.
It's Tipping 40s. It's Moosey's Fate from the stream and the thread. Been following you guys since Shenmue. Big fan. You brought up America's Funniest Home Videos in the podcast. That show was my shit when I was younger. I used to watch that all the time, like every week. I thought it was the most original thing ever. Fucking like Daisy Fuentes and John Fugelsang. That bastard. I don't know what the fuck he thought he had comedic talent or something.
We
He
think we
would
have comedic talent.
use the same voice for every single character he did. He was like, "Oh, I'm gonna jump off this diving board now. Oh!" It's the same shit. It wasn't funny. I watched it recently. I realized that is what fucked me up as a child. Watching fucking John Fugelsang narrate all of the entire the viewer base basically, and then fucking Tom Bergeron bursts in, and he's no better. I'm pretty adamant about America's Funniest Home Videos. Bob Saget, though, was a boss. I commend him. I wish he would come back and host it again with his new filthy comedic
Bob
persona
Saget,
or whatever, because that would be hilarious. There's a lot of possibilities for that.
That would be great.
Just mull that over. There you go.
Thanks.
Yeah, you know, I used to like America's Funniest Home Videos when I was a kid, too. I watched it with Bob Saget, and then they had the offshoot America's Funniest People with
Which was terrible.
Dave Coulier, yeah, which was preset segments
Yeah.
that were made for the show. It wasn't, that was
That
horrible.
show was really
It's
bad.
like, hey, want to see people in silly glasses dancing to songs? Like, that was all it was.
I saw the premiere of that show, and
I did too.
never saw it again.
I want to
I
see.
watched it quite a bit.
I'm really wondering if
You're
there's
dumb.
a graph out there that shows the correlation between the viewership of America's Funniest Home Videos and the correlation between number of videos on YouTube. I think they're inversely proportional there.
Oh, yeah.
Just one goes down, the other goes up.
America's Funniest Home Videos. There's no reason for that show to exist anymore, because if you want to find a video of that sort, you just go on YouTube and look for it.
It's like
Kid's falling.
people
There
who
you go.
still have AOL dial-up, they just don't know there's other options. They just don't know they're
takes
there,
too long
so
to
they
load.
keep using it.
I'll
So
watch
he gave me,
WGN.
he actually sent in a follow-up voicemail, which is very short here.
And if I see another fucking pinata video, I swear to God, I'm going to kill myself.
The video, I'm assuming, is when someone gets
joke.
hit in the nuts.
Yeah. Always a cock
It's
joke.
always
It's always either a cock joke or they hit him in the
Kid
head.
in the face. Yeah, kids in the face.
And get me some candy. I can get it. Oh no, sorry.
Yeah, I've been saying the same thing about Funniest Home Videos every time we've talked about it, which is that every single time he just goes like, "Oh, I'm going to sit up here and have some fun."
Bob Saget did it way more.
I hope I don't fall off. Oh God, I fell off. And every single one is exactly the same. They're all the same.
America's Funniest Home Videos is where C-list celebrities go to die.
It's true. All right, let's listen to the last voicemail we got today.
Hey, Tipping 40's. What's up, guys? Just wanted to say loving the podcast and the Let's Plays and stuff. And I just wanted to say a little something about what was I going to talk about? The rant, even though that was a little while ago, and the Burnsisms that you guys
did on Vanquish. And I just wanted to see if you guys had any more Burns-isms that you thought up after the game. And Vincent's right. Actually, I completely agree with him. He is, a lot of his statements are, in my opinion, true. And this economy really is going to crap. So, hope you guys play this one on there. Keep doing what you're doing, because I'm loving it. All right. Later.
You know, I totally forgot about Burns-isms after we stopped playing the game.
He's making a reference to the Let's Play of Vanquish we did, where Lieutenant Sergeant Burns or something, whatever, would say stupid shit like "walk it off, faggot" and crap to us.
Yeah,
all the
well,
time.
he would call him a pussy, right?
Yeah.
I think he always called him a pussy.
Yeah.
But he would always be like,
"You can sleep when you're dead." and
yeah,
shit like
that's
that.
a good one. That's a good one. You can sleep when you're dead. Or like, I'm trying to think of another
I don't
one that-
remember, man.
I mean, I don't remember what he actually, any of the ones
They're
he
pretty
actually
funny, though.
said. It was like, "Get your feet running on the ground, pussy." And you're like, what are you talking about, dude? Just fucking
I was
settle
gonna
down.
run in the air.
Yeah.
So do you guys have any?
Do you have one? Go for it.
I just thought of this one. It would just be like, get off that unemployment benefits, you fucking pussy.
That one's pretty good.
I don't think it has the Zen quality.
Yeah, you need-
See, all the Burns-isms, they're really dumb, but they all have this, like, perverted Zen quality to
Yeah.
them. Like, he was saying something profound, but
They're
also
always
calling you a
contradictory
faggot at
as
the
well.
same time.
And they're
Yeah, they
super
were-
contradictory.
They were contradictory, yeah. I can't think of any right now, but
Maybe we'll think of one by the end of the episode.
maybe. All right. Thanks for talking about Burns. I don't remember. It's been a while since I even thought about
I
that
kind of
character.
forgot we played that game.
Yeah,
It was
I
pretty
know.
quick.
It was
Yeah.
short.
All right, so moving on from voicemails. Thanks for all the voicemails and emails. Gonna go to the beer of the week. So I chose the beer of the week this week, and I chose Samuel Smith Oatmeal Stout.
That's a good one.
It's tasty.
When I think of oatmeal stout, this is the one I think of. It's pretty good.
Pretty good.
It's brewed in Tadcaster, England. It's 5%. It tastes like
It tastes like oatmeal, but it isn't
oatmeal.
overpowering.
it's not really. It
It's,
doesn't,
it's malt. It's like malty oatmeal.
Yeah, a lot of the oatmeal stouts I've had have been too oatmeal-y.
Yeah.
But this
Yeah, this
one's
one's not
actually
at all.
it has a good balance between the stoutiness.
Samuel Smith makes a lot of beers too.
You've done a good job of making me want an oatmeal stout.
sounds
That
good.
sounds really good right
They have
now.
cool labels too. I buy beer for the label.
But I hate the tops on because they make it out of that
That's true.
frilly crap
Yeah.
that gets everywhere. Like
I
the
gotta say,
gold
beer
foil.
people, when you make your tops out of that shitty foil, it's annoying.
But so
Unibrew.
fancy.
Unibrew. All
Yeah.
the beers.
Yeah, they all
that.
have that foil on them.
Doesn't matter. Someone drink it.
Oh, yeah.
Don't matter.
Oh, it's an end of the world.
Yeah. They have like an imperial stout and like
They're Tadcaster.
Tadcaster one.
I've actually got a job. I'm making some money. I can actually buy things like that occasionally now.
Cool.
Cool.
Maybe I'll do that
Cool,
today.
cool.
Might buy some
We need
good
that
beer.
sound
I
effect.
haven't had a really good beer in a while.
All right, so that's our beer of the week. Moving on to Mike's segment about Iran.
Okay, so, Ryan and I kind of like between the podcasts, we're usually finding articles at work and stuff. And, we've been kind of discussing over the past few weeks that the media is like all of a sudden, this kind of out of nowhere, really amped about going to war with Iran.
Yeah.
Well, I think this week it finally hit like a peak. And almost the media has begun preparing us for the idea of another U.S. conflict.
Good. We need a fourth one.
Yeah, sure. Now, I want to say up front that a lot of this topic was well covered by Glenn Greenwald at Salon, so you will see some overlap, but I'm going to really go over more about how the media is selling this potential war to Iran to the public rather than just warmongering in general. So,
Well, you have to put some pretense to the whole fact that Iran has had a, quote, civil nuclear program for a while now, which they probably...
yeah, I was going to
military,
bring
but,
that up, sort of.
A lot of people are feeling uneasy about this, particularly Israel, which happens to be pretty close to Iran, and seeing how they don't...
Ahmadinejad in recorded statements says they need to be wiped from the earth and stuff.
Yeah.
Which-
So understandably, there's a bit of conflict going on here. But a lot of people have given to the fact that, oh, this guy's a crazy man. There's no way we can solve this with diplomacy. Let's just bomb the shit out of him.
Yeah. So that's the sell.
Yeah, that's-
Let's see what the sell is.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so let's start with a major news outlet. This is ABC News, and this is Diane Sawyer on the mic, and is ready to tell us why Iran should scare us.
Sounds like she's like an MC or something.
She's on the mic.
Diane Sawyer with her new single.
Yeah, parental advisory.
All right.
Diane Sawyer, MC.
Tonight, Israeli and Jewish facilities everywhere, including here in the U.S., are on heightened alert. Overseas, today, 3 U.S. warships defied Iranian threats and entered the vital oil gateway, the Strait of Hormuz.
Okay.
Not to the Baltic Sea?
It basically goes up into the Middle East, where there's a main.
Anyway, continue.
It's an important. There's basically a point where all the oil comes in from Eastern Europe. Yeah,
I'm dumb.
Anyways,
I know geography.
I'm not good at geography either, really. I just know like real broad
Really
things.
bad. I'm an American. I don't know geography.
Yeah.
So this clip is really fascinating to me because in the first half, Diane is selling the war by stating that Jewish groups, even in America, that gets in their homes, mind you, are on heightened alert after the bombings that occurred in Thailand, which we didn't hear that part, but that's the suicide bomber guys.
Yeah.
Then right after that, she goes into how America has begun sending naval warships into the Strait of Hormuz without any authorization. So we send warships into international waters right next to Iran, but when they do bombings, I guess we're supposed to be upset.
So is this like the Gulf of Tonkin incident right here? Is this like the cause of belly for us going?
Yeah, it's really weird. It's like, hey, they're doing this horrible shit, but we did kind of put warships right next to them.
But was there any...
Hey, man, when you run the world, you don't need authorization.
The question I'm trying to think of here, they're talking about those suicide bombings in Thailand. Does that have any correlation to anything that's going on in Iran? Were those like funded by the government or anything?
They have
just
no evidence.
So this is just
all.
like, oh, look at these crazy Muslims.
They
is?
said,
yes.
They said,
exactly
well, they are
what it is.
Iranian, so they're probably tied to the government.
Yeah,
and maybe they are, but we don't have any evidence of that. But I'm not even going over that. That's a whole different topic. But anyways, Diane Sawyer not doing the best sales pitch because she kind of contradicts herself.
Right.
So let's have the State Department do the pitch instead.
Oh, this should be good.
In Washington, the State Department seemed to tie the incident to Iran and to 2 bomb attacks on Monday.
We are concerned about use of international terrorism by Iran or by anybody else against Israel or against any other innocents.
Okay, so...
But against Israel specifically.
Yeah, I know. I love how she says them before even America.
Yeah, against Israel or against innocents. You don't want it, but Israel. Israel. Israel is...
I've never understood our nation's huge boner for Israel.
I have.
Yeah, we helped create it. It's our little
That's
baby.
why.
Yeah.
It's not that we helped create it because we've created and then tried to disown a lot of things. But the reason is because there's a very, very... It's not hard to make Muslims look really crazy because they already have that stigma of being crazy.
It's like evangelical
hard to make
Christians, though, too. It's
not
not
hard
to make them look crazy.
No, you're right.
It's not hard to make anyone look crazy.
No, you're right. But the thing is, though, we already have this established precedent. So if we support them, to normal Americans who don't look at politics and don't understand anything, Israel are the good guys. They're the little guy being pushed around by this big group around them. When in reality,
that is a good point. They are like the only, I guess you could say, non-Muslim nation in the entire Middle East.
Yeah, and that's exactly it.
Yeah.
People look at, but the funny thing is that they're super overfunded. They have ridiculous armaments.
Yeah, they have the 4th largest military in the world.
Yeah, but we look at it.
Civil rights.
Normal people look at it that way, and plus, it's like especially since 9/11, people are like, them towelheads trying to kill Jews. That ain't right. It's like, that's not what it's about.
I'm actually curious if anyone in Israel listens to this podcast, either Jewish or Muslim, if they have anything to say on that. I'd be really curious.
Yeah,
about
I would be too.
I think our support of Israel is archaic and stupid, and it really needs to go. We need to fucking just drop them and let them deal with it themselves.
Yeah.
Well, it's not that we need to drop their support, but I think we need to, if there's ever going to be any sort of peace over there, we need to actually listen to the other side, because even though, Hamas and whatnot is categorized as a terrorist organization by Israel, we still need to listen to them if you're going to get anything done.
No, that's diplomacy. So
tangential.
What I wanted to point out in this article, or in this little piece, they're trying to sell us this war, right? So she's saying that any country that kills innocent people outside a war zone will not be tolerated. Of course,
that's us.
Israel did kill innocent nuclear scientists, and we bomb civilians all the time and do covert strikes in Somalia. But that's different. So
that's in the name of freedom, though.
Yeah, you can't. The drones aren't people.
Freedom
so
isn't
they
free.
Don't count.
No, I'm saying they do ground strikes. So in Somalia, so they even do it that way too. But
hey man, freedom's a hefty fucking fee.
I'll go 5. So anyways, so ABC, you suck. You didn't sell me this war. So let's go to NBC. You can do it. You can sell me this war.
NBC?
Yeah.
Should be good.
Because of tougher U.S. sanctions, Iran has already threatened to shut down the Strait of Hormuz, that vital passageway for much of the world's oil. And if Israel launches airstrikes against Iran's nuclear program, Iranian leaders have threatened all-out war.
The sound effects are great. Right?
Yeah, when these people
This is Christian Western
recorded at the machine shop.
My question is here: they threatened to shut down this oil pipeline. Do we buy oil from Iran?
No, but we buy oil north of Iran, and European countries.
Does Russia have some of those oil pipelines? I thought that was a.
I don't know how it works, but it's a huge bottleneck because a lot of oil is done through doing it on the sea. So, anyways, let's really break down this statement, okay? And it completely fucking pisses me off because you mean if a country is attacked, like Iran is attacked by Israel, they'll attack back? Isn't that what any fucking country with a defense department is going to do? You're fucking attacking them. Do you expect them to just lay there and die? How is this supposed to, how are you selling this to me? Why is that bad? Why is it bad that if someone bombs you, that you try to bomb them back? If you have a military, that makes no sense. But it makes sense to the military, obviously, because we have a clip of someone in the military who...
Which military?
U.S.
Yeah.
The U.S. Navy's Fifth Fleet would be the world's first line of defense. And its commander, Vice Admiral Mark Fox, said today they're prepared to take on just about anything Iran throws at them.
This is the world we live in. What if it happened tonight? What would we do? We're prepared today.
What happened tonight? What if we bombed them at the station?
Our great naval fleet will attack them.
Why are they saying this? They better be prepared at all times for anything. What the fuck? Just all of a sudden now they're prepared? Well, we just decided to be prepared now. We weren't before. It's like,
isn't that the reason that our defense spending keeps going fucking up? Is so that we are prepared for shit like that?
I get 2 questions about that. First off,
my battleship.
That's not the reason.
What is it? What is it going to happen tonight?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a very good
It would only
point.
have to do with Israel. They wouldn't bomb they can't even bomb the U.S. It's impossible. Even with regular missiles, they can't do it.
Yeah, I mean, they've been saying they've been trying to build the ICBMs forever, but I doubt they have.
No, they don't have them yet.
Yeah.
Well, not just that. Everyone knows that the second someone launched a missile aiming at America, that country would not exist anymore.
Yeah.
They would be blown up off the map. They would be gone. Because
so no one would do it.
We can detect this shit around the world, anywhere.
And
from
the second
anywhere.
question is, they said earlier that the Fifth Fleet was the world's first line of defense. So we are policing the world then, I guess, at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
So of course.
Exactly, because we're America. It's our responsibility, right?
Okay,
responsibility.
yeah, but I'm fine with that as an American. I'm fine being the world police. But they're still not selling this to me. I need something. So let's go to CNN. Let's see how they sell the war.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Erin Burnett, and out front tonight, Iran's threat to the United States in the United States, right here at home.
What?
Now, as we said last night, no one buys Iran's claim that its nuclear program is for peaceful purposes.
Actually, I don't fucking know. So actually, I can't say their nuclear program is for weapons or not, because there's no evidence of any of it.
Yeah, she just went, at home, here in America.
Yeah.
Anyway...
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait, what? What are you talking about?
The disconnect between there being a threat here and then segueing straight into the nuclear program over there makes no sense.
Yeah, who thinks they're going to launch missiles at us? I don't understand. Who thinks this?
Wait. Let's get an expert and see what they have to say. So here's a government official, Clapper. So
is this an expert or an expert with quotations around?
He's an expert.
Oh, okay, great.
He's a defense official. Yes.
Okay, great.
Today on Capitol Hill, National Intelligence Director James Clapper drove that message home.
Iran's technical advances, particularly in uranium enrichment, strengthen our assessment that Iran is more than capable of producing enough highly enriched uranium for a weapon if its political leaders, specifically the Supreme Leader himself, chooses...
Oh, I don't know what the fuck happened.
Your sound
Anyways,
broke.
Basically, it said if he chooses to do this, he could have a nuclear weapon program eventually.
So they don't have one.
They don't have one.
What point is
so? Is that supposed to scare me to spend tons of money on the war? That's like saying a fat kid could lose weight. They
I was
could,
gonna say
and
the
maybe they
exact same
even want
thing.
to. Will they?
If I choose to eat Little Caesars every day, I'm going to be fat.
Yeah.
If an asteroid happens to deflect off of Pluto, it could go into Earth's path and blow us all up.
Then we'll get some oil miners.
The other thing the other thing I don't understand is, first off, the scientific knowledge in order to be able to enrich uranium, that's publicly available. Everyone knows how to do it at this point in the world. Secondly, in order to do this, you have to have a huge infrastructure, and it takes fucking forever to do this.
Yeah.
I mean, enriched uranium is pretty hard to manufacture.
But if he wanted to, he could.
Well, yes, if I wanted to, I could too.
And there's a lot of great articles that say like how far away they are to even having. Yeah. And I unfortunately I don't have them here with me, but they're like the percentage.
I don't think hurry the fuck up then. Jeez.
The thing I'm wondering about though is, I mean, I don't know how far along they are, like how technically progressed they are in the enrichment of uranium. But during World War II, it took the United States billions of dollars and like millions of people to do this, to make the facilities in order to enrich uranium enough for 2 bombs. So I mean, granted, it's 70 years later, but. Do they have the money, the time, the people, the knowledge to do
really.
this?
I mean, they've been their economy's been stranglehold by these sanctions and stuff. They're not going to have the money to do all that. Well, anyways, this they're not selling us still, but they're going to bring in a representative from our Congress. Politicians sell better than anyone. Wars, so
they're sold better.
Let's first get a question from Aaron Burnett, setting up how there may be a media bias out there, how Iran's being covered.
Is this number 8?
This is number 7.
Okay.
Just about the rhetoric, I'm just wondering, some people say, well, look, the rhetoric's overblown. You all keep talking about this. This really, that's part of the problem. I mean, what do you say to those criticisms? That this is more about rhetoric than reality?
Okay, stop for a second.
You take some, again, I'm
Is there a chance?
I have no reason.
Okay, so anyways, it doesn't matter where we get back in on that. So she's saying that there's this large group in the media, which I cannot find. There's a couple bloggers, and that's it, that are saying, hey, you guys are kind of being ridiculous about this
I think
war.
she's playing devil's advocate.
Yeah. No, she's setting it up so that he can spew out propaganda. Now, just listen to, this is Representative King of New York. He's a Republican, but just listen to how he tries to sell this. It's incredible.
Defending a Democratic administration for political reasons. When you have people like General Clapper and General Petraeus, when you have really across the board in the intelligence community in this administration, all the leaders saying how concerned they are about an attack from Iran, a possible attack from Iran or Hezbollah, when you have the NYPD, which has the best local counterterrorism unit in the entire country, which works also works 24/7, and you see what Iran is doing overseas, we would be negligent in not talking about it because it's important to alert local governments, local communities, especially if anyone in their community sees any activity or sees anything unusual, to call the police, call the FBI.
So we're worried about nuclear armaments, but now we're talking about local terrorism.
He completely loses. He's like a talking point robot malfunctioning.
Okay, I'm not even
scary. Threat. Leaders are ready. If you see something, say something. But he doesn't come to any conclusion on any of them.
I'm going to ignore the entire NYPD thing and go on the fact that
I want to talk about
that. We can talk about it in a second. But basically, he's saying if everyone says there should be a war, there should be a war. Because he's saying, the top leadership officials, all these people are saying it's a threat, but they're not providing any evidence that this is a threat. They're just saying, these guys say it's a threat, we should do it.
This is America post-1950. There should always be a war.
I think Montana Police Department has the best anti-terrorism department because there's no terrorist acts there at all.
You know what?
They get that shit out.
They should get the Fox and Friends segment that Brian Kilmeade was talking about, the jetpacks. They could have the jetpacks, the police could fly around in the air, and then if a missile came, they could intercept
They could catch it.
All right, you alien assholes.
Yeah, they'll throw it back.
So, anyways,
the fuck does the NYPD have to do with? Oh my God! So stupid.
He makes no point in a minute. He talks for a minute nonstop, uninterrupted, on a soapbox. He makes no points.
The thing about the NYPD that's funny too is he's right because they do have a highly funded counter-terrorist department, which is kind of weird. But that's their jurisdiction. Their jurisdiction is half a world away.
No.
It's true.
Yeah, exactly. It has nothing to do with anything.
Okay, so last try. Let's go to Fox News. They're infamously pro-war, so they should be able to sell me on supporting an attack on Iran. So here's a discussion between the moderator, let's call him Gelhair, I don't remember his name, and Charles Krauthammer.
Let's call him Phillips and Associates then.
Here's the setup.
Is there a chance that not Ahmadinejad, because he's not in control, but the supreme leader, Khamenei, may just say, okay, fine. Eff all y'all, we're closing the Strait of Hormuz.
Eff all y'all. Eff all y'all.
Okay, so Gelhair is going back to the Strait of Hormuz
Go Eff all y'all.
Point, which is a good selling point. Probably the best we've heard because, I like my gas cheap.
Yeah.
So here's Krauthammer with his response to that question. All right.
So I think, however ideological and irrational the regime can be and has been, I think it's sort of irrational, these terrorist attacks around the world, because it's just showing them for who they are. Nonetheless, they can't be that crazy as to close the straits and invite overwhelming attack from the United States.
What? I wasn't expecting that.
He has the most rational answer.
Here's Charles Krauthammer, one of the most well-known neocon pro-war pundits of cable news, saying that the Strait of Hormuz angle is complete bullshit. What, is the media trolling me? This pro-war guy makes the best point I heard on why we should not get into the war. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
So, I'm just going to close it out. The American news media can continue to try to sell this war to us, but the facts are just too overwhelming to get support for it. At this point, only 17% of Americans think we should go into military action with Iran. The sanctions appear to be working. And most importantly, this week, Ahmadinejad himself said that he would negotiate to comply with European nuclear treaties and that he wants to try a diplomatic route. On top of that, the fact that Iran is twice the size of Afghanistan, can we even afford another 15-year war with a country that would be a huge pain in the ass?
I know that's rhetorical, but the answer is no. We can't afford it. We don't have enough money to do that.
But Iraq war is ending, so we can put all those forces in.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
50,000 troops there.
That's exactly what it is. They want something to report on.
So media, if you're going to try to sell me something, you got to step your game up. That's what I'm saying. You got to get it going. Get some celebrities, as the guy said.
Get the ShamWow guy.
Yeah, ShamWow. Get somebody, because this selling's not working for me. Pitch isn't working.
In the 22nd century, wars will be sponsored.
That'd be great.
Iran war sponsored by Kellogg's.
Eat your cornflakes. Yeah. Eff all y'all, eat them cornflakes.
Now the IED cam brought to you by GoDaddy. GoDaddy.
Hey, as long as Danica Kirkpatrick is on the front of that cam, I don't care.
People are just walking up to, ooh, bam.
Okay.
All right, so that was Mike's segment. It was kind of long, but it's good, informative.
Yeah,
I like those clips. They're pretty nice.
And moving on to Benson with his segment about movie titles.
All right, let's talk about film titles, guys. I'm
excited.
Now, what we're going to talk about is I didn't tell the other guys I was even talking about this because I decided last night, basically. But I think that the name of a film, it kind of seems like it's not that important. But then when you think about it, it's actually really important because there have been movies in the past where I've seen a film title and I go, that sounds really stupid.
If it's bad, it's bad.
If it's bad, it's bad. Well, I mentioned that later, but we'll talk. But now, the other thing is, though, too, is that a good film title can really attract you to a film. Especially if it feels like the film title knows what it...
Midnight Meat Train.
Explains
Snakes
what it
on
is.
a Plane.
Snakes on a Plane is a good film title, actually.
Yeah. It's going for that campy, I can't believe
you
it.
know exactly what it is. And that's the trick to a title, is that a title knows what it's advertising. A good title knows what it's advertising. Now, the reason we need to talk about this is, though, I think that lately film titles have been worse.
They've been given up.
But there have been really bad and really good titles throughout history. I used one genre specifically as examples in this thing. But basically, while I'm discussing this, you guys should probably think about film titles that you like or dislike. Think about why, and we'll talk about it at the end. So just write some down or whatever. And also, like I said, think about why this makes you want to watch it or not watch it, or why it would make people want to watch it or not watch it. I think that's very important. So what we're going to talk about as examples is 80s comedies. That's just, I used to use one genre specifically to make it easy to condense the conversation.
Just one of the guys.
But this applies to a ton of, every genre. But I just used 80s comedies specifically to make
your
it
genre
easy.
of expertise.
Yeah. Well, actually, one of my favorite films of all time, not for the correct reasons, obviously, but I think that the movie title Weekend at Bernie's is a great title because it sounds fun and wacky, but it doesn't disassociate you with the movie. Like, you understand that it's probably going to be a comedy, and it's about like something fun-loving, probably like weekend. When you hear weekend, you instantly think of relaxing or doing something fun, and that's a great title for a movie. And of course, the movie is about them dragging around a dead guy and acting like he's alive, which is stupid. But if you made like a dead pun in the thing, then there would be no.
Well, the movie would be ruined.
You know the plot already because the trailer tells you it, but I think that them not mentioning it actually makes it more interesting. So that's a great title. But in addition to this is, of course, the wonderfully titled Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
I was thinking of that too.
Which is one of the greatest film titles I've ever heard in my life, I think. I mean, it is great. And it's the same idea.
It's an amazing name for a character, too.
Yeah, Ferris Bueller.
You don't realize how great a good named character can be in them.
Yeah, they're going to say John Doe's Day Off, and it's like, who cares?
Yeah.
Ferris Bueller. You're my hero.
Yeah, and so that's it's a very effective title. Another good one, Back to the Future, is fantastic because it's very catchy, has a catchy feel to it. And I'll talk about some rules later that I think will make movie titles better. Big, Ghostbusters, great names.
Ghostbusters is very good.
Ghostbusters is a great name because they tell you the theme of the movie, but they don't over-reveal anything.
I still think, like, even though some titles that you read the title and you don't understand what the movie's going to be about, can still be a really good title, because then that gets, like, a huge, like, cult following. It's like for instance, like Breakfast Club. It's like, I don't know what the fuck this is going to be about, but, like, everyone... Yeah, it's a really good title now that people have seen it.
But then the thing is, though, too, you're right. I agree. Breakfast Club is a great title. But the thing about Breakfast Club is it still tells you the theme of the movie. Yep. It's not about a club, but they're the Breakfast Club. They're this group that should be at their homes eating breakfast, sitting around, but they're stuck at school in the morning because they're in detention. That's again a good one tells you the theme of the movie without over revealing or over explaining it. Terrible movie titles also exist in the 80s comedy genre, though. One of the ones I hate the most, actually, is Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I hate it. I think it sounds bad. It doesn't sound good. And it also it's too long, also. And that's one of the... Long titles are usually not good.
Especially like sequels, like Jurassic Park, The Lost World.
Yeah.
You add stuff like that.
I mentioned that later. Not that one specifically.
Yeah,
but
stuff like that.
But the thing is that even though and you think about it though, look at it and go Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Weekend at Bernie's. They're almost the same title, but one of them's shit and the other is really good, and it's because it sounds better. That's why it sounds better, and it has fewer syllables. It's shorter. So here's another bad name: Pee-wee's Big Adventure. That's a shit name. I love that movie, but. Every single Ernest movie has a better name than Pee-wee's Big Adventure. You don't know what
it's a big adventure, though.
It is, but the thing is, what is the adventure? It could be anything.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not... I mean, it's...
Would it change, though, if they use a different adjective, like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure?
I think Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure actually works better than Pee-wee's Big Adventure, because excellent is a word that you associate with those characters. Big is nothing. That's just an adjective that they threw in there to make it big. Words are very, very easily manipulated, and they're manipulative. Like, you can use them to... The brain sparks with a certain association when you hear certain words, and I'll talk about that later again. Another one that has... Another one, terrible title, Beverly Hills Cop. Awful title. Because you go, oh, it's about a cop in Beverly Hills.
He was wearing a Detroit Lions jacket.
Yeah,
What's going on
He's
here?
a Detroit cop who goes to Beverly Hills.
It's a terrible name.
It's a terrible
I always
name.
hated that.
It bothered me. It bothered me since the second I heard it. Yeah. And let's see, Bird on a Wire. Fucking terrible.
Terrible name.
Terrible
That's
name.
gibberish.
Yeah, it is.
Total
All because
gibberish.
okay, I'll talk about this later too. All because you name it after a song doesn't mean I'm gonna like the name. I might know the song, Bird on the Wire.
Yeah.
For the song, but no, that's a stupid name. It has nothing to do with anything.
What do you think about titles that have themes and stuff, but you don't really know what the movie's going to be at all? Like To Kill a Mockingbird, that has nothing to do
Well, that was
with
based
the
on a
movie.
book. It's a bit different.
Yeah,
same thing.
I feel that To Kill a Mockingbird isn't a great title, but it works.
There's a lot of movies like that where it's just like a hidden theme to it. You don't know it until you watch the movie.
Exactly, and I think that's a very good point, and I think that those ones that have that are smart if they're appealing to the right crowd, which is art house. Art house movies have weird titles, sometimes a little too long, but it works because you can tell it has some theme that ties into the movie, but you don't know what it is. So art house is great because people will watch art house movies. People who like art house will watch those movies regardless of what the theme of, or not the theme, but the plot is. They'll watch it because they go, oh, this sounds interesting. Like, I'll go watch a movie that's about football, and then the next day I can go watch a romance, and it won't bother me. But some people don't want to watch certain types of movies. So art house, you can kind of get away with that. But a lot of movies you can't. Here's another. I'm not going to just talk about old comedy titles. I'm also going to talk about new movies that came out and why their titles suck. It's. I just focused on the one, like I said, because it's easier to follow a convention for what makes it good or bad. But these rules that I've made apply to any genre, I think. And there are some that break the rules and work, but the success of a movie isn't a gauge for how good the title is either, because some successful movies have really shitty titles. So anyway, here's a few things that I think make that a title should do, and also what you shouldn't do with one. These are not in order of importance, but number one, you need to explain the theme with the title in some way. It needs to talk about what the point of the movie is. It doesn't necessarily need to explain the movie, just tell the point of the movie. Mm-hmm. Another one is be aware of your genre. You don't want a title that sounds like it could be campy, and then it's a serious movie. That happens a lot, and I go, no, that does not. It sounds really dumb, and it ruins the title. Another one, no exclamation of any kind. No questions, no fucking exclamation points.
That.
Airplane is a terrible name. The name of the movie kind of sucks anyway, because Airplane is a boring name that could be about anything. And then you fucking put an exclamation point on it. No, it doesn't work.
Like
Mafia, same thing.
It's
terrible.
like Yahoo's company name has to have an exclamation at the end of it.
Yeah, exactly.
What's
I hate
the worst
that
could happen? This movie.
Yep. Yeah. That movie's pretty bad. Okay, so the blank is fine, but it's also not going to grab anyone. Like you can put
that's like giving up.
Exactly.
Like,
it is giving up. Yeah. The only way that works is if the blank word is cunt. And then I would totally watch that movie. I would watch a movie called The Cunt.
What about The Beaver? You didn't watch that, right?
I did watch The Beaver.
But for free.
Yes.
So you didn't watch it.
I didn't go pay for it. Actually, I wanted to, and I forgot.
You did.
I wanted
it
to
wasn't
see
in theaters very long.
I wasn't, and I'm kind of glad I didn't, because the movie was like, I don't know.
Anyways,
whatever. I won't
You
talk
didn't
about
like
that.
it that
We don't have time. I liked aspects of it, but another one is it should roll off the tongue, and this is a very difficult one of the toughest ones to follow. But I found, personally, after looking at a lot of movie titles, I found that 5 syllables is usually the magic number that sounds good without being too long. And you'll notice that with a lot of movies that I talked about already. Back to the Future.
Like Journey to the Mysterious Island.
Actually, I mentioned that later. Yeah. So I'll talk about that, because that title is one of the ones that pisses me off the most.
Oh, it's breaking.
So anyway,
awful.
it's, I don't know, 5 syllables just sounds weirdly nice to say. It just works a lot of the time. And think about a lot of movies with good titles, and you'll find a lot of them have 5 syllables. It's just weird. One big one. No lines from songs. Not a line from a song.
I hate
it. Can be a song title sometimes. It can work, but not necessarily. But if you have a line from a song...
Worst one, Jumping Jack Flash. What the fuck? Has nothing to do with the movie at all.
That newer movie, Take Me Home Tonight.
Oh,
terrible.
yeah.
You know why? Not only that, not only is it a line from a song, and it sounds stupid, and it doesn't have any reason for that movie to be titled that. I watched that movie. It sucked,
That's
by
the
the way.
song they put in the trailer.
But here's the thing, too. One, or not one, the only thing, it makes you think of the song. You don't think of the movie because you go, take me home tonight. You can't even hear those words without going, take me home tonight, because you think about the song when you hear it. You don't think about a fucking movie. It doesn't sound like a movie title. So it's recognizable as music, not as a movie title. Don't fucking use a line from a song. It never works. Other bad ones, Addicted to Love, What a Girl Wants, When a Man Loves a Woman. None of those work. They all sound stupid.
When a man loves a woman.
Didn't do well.
Yeah. They all have the same fucking problem. They all have the same problem, which is that they're named after...
Sadly, Jumping Jack Flash did okay.
And a lot of these were named after the title of a song that can work, like I said. Like, Stand By Me is okay. But the point is
or
that...
what about, like, Dazed and Confused? That's all right.
Dazed and Confused works, yeah, but it's still not great.
Anyway.
It's still not great. But you can tell that it's about people doing drugs and it's about young people. Like, you can tell by the name. So, there are exceptions, but don't fucking do it. It doesn't usually work, and it sounds stupid. Names of historical events can work, but they're usually too vague. Pearl Harbor. What the fuck about Pearl Harbor? Could be anything. Could be a documentary. Why not a documentary?
No, it's about love story, actually.
It's not even about Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
Exactly. I fucking hate that title because it doesn't work for that movie. It's not descriptive enough at all. Titanic's a little better because people associate Titanic with a disaster, and you know.
In terms of making money, that's a perfect title.
They should have called it Ice on a Boat.
Ice on a Boat? That'd be pretty good.
Ice in a boat.
Now, I think that title's still too vague for me, but the association with the word Titanic, people will go watch it.
The film Titanic, everyone knows what that
and
is.
Titanic has an epic feel to it, too. When you hear the word Titanic, you're like, oh, that's a huge boat. You know, like, it's... People go... They
Michael
want to see
Bay directs
They think of a huge boat. They want to go see a huge movie. Sometimes vagueness sells, you know, if it works. A big one, the last one I have listed, is you got to think about the times and cultural connotations also. This is a really important. Does it fit your time frame? And look at the recent past and see if any movies share your title. Yes, this is fucking important.
Yeah, it is.
This can be a deal breaker. For example, there's a new movie out called Michael.
Oh, I mean the one when John Travolta was an angel.
Yeah, the one where John Travolta was an angel. That's exactly what I think of when I hear. Have you heard the movie? Have you seen the movie Michael? Yeah, you know why? Because that's a huge movie that came out starring a major actor, and I remember. And
most people didn't like it.
No, it sucks. But this movie
made money.
That's also true too. If people hated the movie, then it also will go.
Yeah,
it has negative feeling in their head. And also, Michael's too common anyway. I'm sitting in front of a Michael right now.
Movie.
You know, it's stupid. This movie, by the way, this new movie called Michael, is about a guy who acts like a normal guy, but he has a kid locked up in his basement for like years.
Nice.
It's very different.
Yeah.
One thing that you didn't say that I think almost never works is using the main character's name as the title of the movie.
Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump. Yeah,
like
Gump is
counterpoint
a dumb
John
name.
Connor.
Exactly. If it's a really good name,
Eddie,
then it works.
Eddie?
Okay, that's dumb.
You have no idea what that movie's about.
Has to be a great name, and it has to be
unique.
Very unique.
Yeah.
Something that
like Ferris Bueller, like that.
John Carter is a good name for a movie.
Well, that's a book, so.
Michael Clayton. Hey, guys, remember that movie? I watched it. I don't. Anyway, so here are some new films titles that we'll talk about and discuss why it's bad. Most of them are bad. Obviously, Man on a Ledge, we talked about before. Terrible title.
What about Snakes on a Ledge?
Too vague.
It's dismissive,
and
too.
It's dismissive, and it's and like you said, you can't even put an A in there.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me? It sounds like it takes itself too serious while having a ridiculous plot. See Man on Fire, same thing. Mm-hmm. It's like this ridiculous movie, and then it's like super serious. Oh, I'm gonna kill myself. It's like, oh, shut the fuck up. I don't fucking care about you, you dumb character. Okay, Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Oh.
Now,
No, that's actually a good title. I'm going to say that is a good title for the people that want to watch it.
I hate it, but it's perfect for what it is. And you know what? I still hate it, though. It pisses me off.
I had 2 different people send me that trailer.
Yep. You know why? You know why they sent it to you? Because it was named Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. That's the reason. Mm-hmm. So that's smart. Smart title. Obviously campy. I already talked about Michael. Let's see. Safe House. That's fine. You know why? Because I assume it's about something involving a safe house. And it's got Denzel Washington.
Panic Room.
And I actually wrote it elicits the same reaction as Panic Room.
That's good?
It does.
Yeah. I mean, that movie didn't do great.
It's not based on the success of the movie, though. I'm saying Panic Room was a good title, though.
Yeah, it was.
And so is Safe House. It's a good title. And it looks like crap. It's got Denzel.
Yeah, it looks
so it's gonna be boring.
super green. Looks like it was shot on like a fucking Pixel 2000.
A lot of Denzel movies are green. Yeah, I know. John Q. And
Man on Fire.
Man on Fire was green.
Yep.
What is that?
Deja Vu.
That's weird. Oh, fuck that movie. Okay. So here's my least favorite that he already mentioned. It's funny how you guys are thinking so much like me because you're mentioning the same shit I wrote down. The one that he mentioned is Journey to the Mysterious Island. Are you fucking kidding me?
I was like,
okay,
what's the first Journey?
Here's what it is. You wanted to make a sequel to Journey to the Center of the Earth.
I honestly did not put that together.
It's a Jules Verne novel, obviously, both are. So you wanted to make a sequel to it because the first one made a lot of money, which it did. So you go, okay, well, I can't call it Journey to the Mysterious Island because that's not the name of the book. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call it Journey to, the Mysterious Island. Yeah. So it sounds like I'm saying Journey to the Mysterious Island, even though it's actually a number 2. That is a shit title. No one... That does not... Okay, that movie will make a lot of money because it's appropriate for kids.
It's not making that much.
Really? I thought it would.
It's not doing great.
I thought it would, but that
may stick around, though.
It's a terrible, terrible title, and that would never make a person want to watch. You go, what the fuck is this? This doesn't make any sense, this title. It's confusing. Okay, so there's that. Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance. Too long. Just call it Ghost Rider 2.
Ghost Rider 2.
Just call it Ghost Rider 2.
I think the reason they're avoiding the numbers works.
Yep.
I think the reason they're avoiding the numbers is because if people realize that these are sequels, they don't.
There's a very simple reason they're avoiding the numbers, and I can tell you what it is right now, and you probably haven't thought of it. It's because they know they're going to reboot the series someday.
Yeah.
They don't want to call it Spider-Man 2 anymore because now when they make a new Spider-Man, they have to fucking put a subtitle. So they're just doing it to begin with.
Amazing.
Because if they have to reboot it, then they can go, this is Dark Knight. This ain't Batman 2. This is Dark Knight. Dark Knight, Dark Knight. You know, it's the same fucking thing. They know what it is.
I'm glad they did that, though. Like, it was Batman Begins, then Dark Knight, instead of Batman Begins, The Dark Knight.
Yeah, that was better. You're right.
They should just call it hey, it's a Batman movie.
This is the second movie.
Yeah. This is Nolan 2. Nolan 3. Yeah. Okay, so here's Salmon Fishing in the Yemen. It's a movie starring Ewan McGregor and Emily Blunt. It's about salmon fishing in the Yemen.
Go for it.
That title sucks, though. Because you know what? No one will want to watch it based on that title.
It's completely dismissive again. It's like, here it is, fuck you.
It makes me wonder if they wanted the movie to make any money at all. Like, were they like, hey, well, what is it about? Well, it's about this guy who goes he fly fishes.
I'm pretty sure Emily Blunt just wants to ruin her career.
She's on her way.
And she just fucking is killing it, just like Katherine Heigl did. I mean, it's just how
she's on her way to it. Okay, Chronicle. Nope, too vague. Don't know what the fuck it's about. Could be anything. Also, it reminds me of Lego Bionicle.
It reminds me of Chronicles.
I think Chronicles of Riddick.
Yeah, I think Chronicles of Riddick.
That's
Chronicles
worse.
of Riddick. Yeah, that's true. Okay, This Means War. That
terrible
title sucks.
I fucking hate that
What the fuck
title.
is it about?
I've never seen this movie. This is the first I've ever heard, but I don't like that movie already.
Yeah, and you know...
It probably stars some bitchy person being bitchy at some other bitchy
What genre
person.
do you think it is?
Romance or comedy.
He's right, though. He's right. I knew instantly. I knew instantly it was a romantic comedy because that's the same thing as Love Stinks and things like that. Because they go, this is what some woman would say. You go, this means war.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know what?
It's actually two men, though.
It is two men in the CIA.
I was off on the gender, but otherwise.
What a terrible... Okay.
Oh, God.
Anyway, it gives off a bad feel, though. Yeah. Anyway, that title does. Now, you would obviously hate it anyway because you hate romantic comedies in general, but whatever. Here's another one that pisses me off. We're way over time today.
Whatever. Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, well. Dorothy and the Witches of Oz.
What?
Yes, this is a new movie. Fuck you. You know what? Fuck you.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah,
Same thing.
Stop banking on the fucking success of old movies. They have to reimagine it, and then they just call it The Witches of Oz.
Snow White and the Huntsman.
Yeah, I fucking hate that shit. Now, it's one of these all-in-a-dream bullshit movies, and it's like, oh, great.
Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, Wizard of Oz was all in a dream, yes. I hate that shit.
I'm a dream.
It's obviously exploiting an old movie.
It's because Wicked's big.
Yeah,
I got some good ones.
And last one that I have, extremely loud and incredibly close.
It's horrible.
No. One, you used an ampersand, no punctuation, rule broken, no fucking punctuation. Just
What
put
is it
an
about?
and.
No idea what it's about.
Unless it's a colon.
Absolutely no idea what that's about.
No, exactly. No fucking idea what it's about. And the title is way too forgettable. I don't know extremely loud and incredibly close. I had to find it in Google, I had to put incredibly close because I forgot the first part. That's how unforgettable that title
It
is.
was so non-loud to you.
Yeah, exactly. It was extremely quiet. So, yeah, these are just, I think a lot of these are just bad titles, basically. But the thing is, I looked through all the new movies. I didn't find any titles I really thought were that good. There were a few that worked. And,
Tolerable, yeah.
So, I want to know what you guys think are the worst movie titles you've seen.
I got some.
Okay, you go ahead, and then I'll talk about a couple.
This one has always pissed me off as a kid. Tremors. Bad guys are not called Tremors, so that's what you think as a kid.
Tremors.
They're called the Graboids.
Graboids, that's it. Yeah.
But everyone always used to call them Tremors when I was a kid.
Why don't they call
did
it?
too.
Why don't they call it Graboids? Because you know what?
Because they thought of Graboids after.
Yeah, you're right. But you know that's funny.
It's also a terrible name.
Think about it.
Graboids.
Think about
Way better.
Yeah, but think about a great title though that works. I don't know. I think Graboids might work because look at fucking Gremlins. Gremlins is a great title.
It already came out, so you get confused.
That's true.
I actually think Tremors is a good name for the movie, but when you start to watch it, like okay, I'll watch this, but then when you watch it, it's like, they're not called Tremors. I don't understand what's going on here.
Yeah, you're right.
Another one is 2001: A Space Odyssey. That's a terrible name.
Yeah, that name's garbage.
That's another book series.
No.
Book was written at the same time.
I think the worst one of all is all the Indiana Jones. Those are fucking garbage. Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark. That's your first movie? You're going to call it that fucking much?
Yeah.
That's your whole fucking title?
The
Why not
first
just
movie
Raiders of the
should've-
Lost Ark?
Yeah.
The first movie should have been called either Raiders of the Lost Ark
I think
or
it was
Indiana
just called.
Jones.
I think it was just called Raiders of the Lost Ark. I don't think it had any.
Actually, you're right, but it had Indiana Jones in big letters over Raiders of the Lost Ark,
So it was
even though
trying
it
to do
wasn't.
that serialized.
Traffic is a bad name.
Traffic is a terrible name.
Traffic sucks. What is
A
it
name that
about?
I think is kind of good, but you have no idea what the movie's about is Pulp Fiction. Because
Well, when you think of Pulp Fiction, you think of the cult comic books, which is what's kind of vignettes.
there's no title like that though, so it's like it just completely sticks to that movie.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's a very original title that you instantly associate with that.
Okay, so I got a couple bad ones. I'm going to start with the TV show Earth 2. Okay, you can't sequel a fucking planet that isn't a movie. I fucking hate that name. I've always hated it. And there's a reason why that show was canceled immediately, because it was one of the worst. It's so insulting, too. It actually, it gave me some weird type of planetary nationalism. I was like, fuck no, there's only one Earth. There's only one fucking Earth. That other place can be called something else. It's not Earth.
Yeah.
It's Earth.
We don't call it Pluto 2 or some shit. It's
Pluto
stupid.
2. Pluto, I call it
Pluto's not a
Pluto
planet.
Nash 2.
Pluto Nash 2. Another one came out recently, and I saw it, and it wasn't that bad, was Melancholia. Terrible name.
That's terrible.
Fucking awful. Has nothing to do with the movie. Yeah, people are sad in it. Who cares? Do I call a movie sad? Do I call it... it's fucking
No, you
terrible.
call it Sadia.
Yeah, Sadia. The last one of the bad ones I had was Time Out. I love this movie.
Yeah,
it is
that's
a terrible name.
It's terrible. I love that movie too. Actually, I remember you turned me on to that movie.
Disturbia?
Disturbia is pretty bad. Yeah, because that has nothing to do.
They could have called it whatever his character's name, Blank's Day Off.
Yeah,
Blank's Day Off.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Blank Check is a good name.
Yeah, great.
Anyways, I got one.
Actually, it is a good name, but
I got one good one. This movie's not great, but storytelling. I love this title because the whole movie is about telling stories.
Yeah,
and
is that the Adam
whole
Sandler
movie's
one?
about shitting on storytelling. No,
it's
Todd Solondz.
Salons, yeah, that's right.
I was thinking something else.
It's basically, it criticizes fiction and fiction storytelling, basically. And it's one of the most cynical movies I've ever seen. Like, it's really hateful towards its audience, but I thought that was a good title.
Yeah.
As it relates to the theme.
I was thinking of 80s action movies since you were doing comedies.
Yeah.
There's actually some pretty good 80s action movie titles like Die Hard, Lethal Weapon, Terminator, and Kindergarten Cop. They all
Terminator is extremely good name.
Yeah, that's a great name. Yeah, that's a fantastic.
I actually think Die Hard is the best of all of those.
Die Hard's great. Die Hard's great.
There's also some bad ones I came up with. Last Action Hero, Tango and Cash, Cobra.
Actually, I think Tango and Cash is good.
Tango and Cash is fine,
But it's because you know what it is now.
You know it's going to be campy.
But if you just hear the title, it's like, who are these people? I don't care.
They sound like idiots.
But it should have been an and. Should have been an and, though. No fucking ampersand.
I like
Hate that.
Another one is Big Trouble in Little China. I like the idea of the name because it gives the theme, but it's too long.
Too long, yeah.
You know what else that was another bad name? First Blood.
Yeah, Rambo.
Because people just call it Rambo.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, it's bad. Another action movie with a great name that turned out to be a huge disappointment, Expendables.
Yeah.
Because I think it's perfect name because it's filled with known action stars, and then you named it Expendables, which is so funny.
Because they're the least expendable in their own
Yeah,
movies.
they're not expendable. And then the movie is just fucking shit. Oh my god, it sucked.
Fell asleep.
I don't blame you.
Your income is now expendable.
Okay, and a couple I have. One is an old, not old, but a documentary from like the early 2000s, maybe late 90s called The Story of the Weeping Camel. Listen, apparently this movie was great. I never saw it. It's about them trying to save a camel, basically, a rare like white camel. That makes me not ever want to watch it.
I never want to see
A
that.
Story of the Weeping Camel? Are you fucking
I
serious?
actually accidentally sat in on that movie for a few minutes at a theater because I went to the wrong theater.
Were you trying to watch Napoleon Dynamite?
No, I was trying to watch Lucian Defense with John Turturro.
Oh, yeah.
I just remember the worst title ever. Sisterhood of the Trailing Pants. That title.
Oh, I hate that name.
That title's bad.
But another good title for documentary is King of Kong.
That is
pretty good
fantastic.
title.
That's a fantastic title. And here's my all-time least favorite title. I just fucking hate it because the second I heard it, I was like, and the person it came from, it made perfect sense because he's the most fucking like megalomaniacal asshole. Thinks he's
John Carpenter's
brilliant. No, he's worse than John Carpenter to me. The Happening. What the fuck is that? What is The Happening? That could be anything at any time in any genre ever.
Nothing happens in this movie.
And the best thing about it is there is nothing happening. It is nothing. It is a bunch of people walking through fields. That's the
Just
happening.
name it The Verb.
Yeah, it could have been The Verb. Yeah, might as well have been.
All right. That was a good segment, but we got to move on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're already 10 minutes over the total.
Top 5, number 5.
Okay, we got a bonus one real quick. Judge busted for dismissing her own traffic tickets.
Pretty self-explanatory.
What else do you have to say?
At least she got away with it. So.
Well, sort of.
Not anymore.
I think she has to pay it all back. But anyways, number 5, steak doneness.
Yes, so all you fuckers who order a steak higher than medium, even if you order a medium, I still kind of don't like you. But if you order a medium well or well done, you're worse than a poacher. At least they're killing animals for fun, man. For sports. You're just eating nothing. You're just eating dog shit.
Yeah, you might as well just eat fucking like ground chuck.
Save that steak for someone that knows how to eat it.
Yeah,
all right?
exactly.
Fucking assholes.
I agree. I don't know why you would want to eat a steak with all the flavor just cooked out of it. Cause
It's gross.
It does.
Like when
suck.
when you get one that is cooked too much, you're so pissed.
If there's no pink in the middle, you're just like, this doesn't even taste like
Give me the A1, I guess.
Yeah, it tastes like chew.
That should also be a thing. Don't put A1 on it.
That's definitely
Well, if it's well done, I'm putting A1 on it. Sorry.
Yeah, that's true.
Worcestershire, better.
Yeah,
yes, true.
A1 is how bad steak is done.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways, number 4. This, oh my god, Battleship movie, the video game, is being adapted into a first-person shooter.
First off, if you didn't know, there's a movie called Battleship coming out.
It looks
It's based on the board game.
It's based on the board game, but has aliens in it.
Yeah, anyway.
Dude, the greatest thing, I was watching the trailer with Bianca like a couple days ago because she had never seen the trailer. I'm like, you never seen this? So we were watching the trailer, and there's this part where he's like, he's talking, the main character is talking about Liam Neeson. He's like, I'm going to walk in there and I'm going to tell him. And it cuts, and I was just like, A10. It's like, what?
Miss.
Why is it about the board game? I don't understand.
Anyway, they're making a video game, obviously, to cash in, and it's a first-person shooter.
You know, I have to say, I almost love this because the movie has nothing to do with the board game, and now they're making
just shooting
a game that has nothing to do with the movie or the board
shooting
game.
bullets at the board game.
Yeah, I was really hoping the first-person shooter would be a person sitting down in a chair, and then they open it up, and it's the Battleship board game in front of them. And then you have to shoot. You have to shoot like where you want to put the pegs.
Hey man, the bow level on Goldeneye was pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good.
Next.
Number 3, Politico mistakes state flag for Union flag. Idiocy ensues. Gotta say, this was Gawker. They found this. They were the first people to report it, and they have a lot of dumb news, but this was fantastic.
So I guess President Obama went to Wisconsin to do some stumping or something.
Yeah.
He gave a speech standing under the Wisconsin state flag, which I got to say is blue and says Wisconsin and the year it's founded.
Yeah.
It looks terrible.
It's huge.
Anyway,
It's
so
huge letters.
I guess Politico mistaked the Wisconsin flag for
Donovan Slack.
Yeah, mistaked it for a Union flag, and then wrote an article saying how Obama was behind unions and left-leaning.
Yeah, basically, he goes, it looks like somebody's behind the unions with this because he thought it was a Union flag. This person is one of the most powerful people reporting in politics, and he reported that.
Yep.
That's...
Hey man, he's trying to back the unions. That's some bullshit. Got it.
Anyone do any research at all?
No one does research. I talked about this.
We don't do research.
I don't do research.
I did more research. I did more research for my thing about movie titles than that guy did for his statement.
Yeah, because he did pretty much none.
And his only job is to do research. That's his whole job.
Yeah.
These people.
Anyways, number 2, just contraception. Contraception regulations, the debate, it's gotten to be the hot topic. And two articles in particular. Virginia's proposing an ultrasound law. So what they're saying is basically they restrict abortions on first trimester or second, first 10 weeks, right?
Yeah.
So the problem is that with this new proposed ultrasound law, they want you to get those before you get an abortion.
Yeah, they're
to see
basically
the baby,
Yeah.
so you feel guilty.
Yeah, basically.
Because that will really change your mind.
There's no medical reason for the ultrasound to happen. They just want to guilt the person.
But the problem with it is that because it's so early on in the pregnancy process, the baby isn't big enough to do a traditional ultrasound outside the body.
They put on
the goo on the belly.
Yeah.
They can't do that. So what they have to do is they have to stick this rod in your vagina and basically rape you.
Well, they're going to do that to get the baby out anyway. So.
Well, no, they get more of a suction thing.
Oh.
It is gross. Anyways.
But basically, the whole idea is not only are they violating your civil rights, they're violating your physical rights.
Yeah, so that's fine.
Cool.
It was written by a guy. It's cool. Anyways, this other one is pretty great. This guy, I gotta look up who he was with, but he's I think with Santorum's campaign, and he basically said that, I gotta get the exact quote. The contraceptive thing, my gosh, it's so expensive. Back in my days, when they used to use bare aspirins for contraceptives, the gals would stick it between their knees, and it wasn't that costly. This was...
gals?
Yeah, the gals would...
The old gals.
This was Foster. This was Foster on Andrea Mitchell.
Putting oral drugs
the guy's name is
into your
Foster Price,
vagina
by the way.
Yeah, he works for Santorum.
No adverse health effects whatsoever.
Anyway, so what I love about this, though, is he went on Andrea Mitchell Reports. She is the biggest stooge ever, and he somehow... She gave him a meatball question, and he just says the most insane, retarded thing possible that will piss people off. It's like, how do you manage to say something so stupid?
The biggest pro-lifers are... oh, sorry, my phone's ringing. The biggest pro-lifers are these religious groups, usually. And they're against contraception. For people who are so against homosexuality, why are they so obsessed with other people's cum? Why do they care where the cum goes?
Yeah.
Where it comes and goes? It's got to, you got to stop
comes
it.
and goes.
That wasn't intentional, actually. But, why are they obsessed with my semen in my balls? Why do they care? Why do these people give a shit what's happening? with my
I'm not
dick.
sure.
I don't.
Semen needs to be under control, right?
For people who
It's getting out of hand.
For people who hate the idea of dicks, like just they don't want to think about dicks in general. They're pretty concerned with other people's dicks. Just saying. I'm kind of sick of it. Kind of sick of hearing about other people.
Let's just move on to the last one, which is the best one.
So, again, a CNN op-ed is our number one. Doing great work.
thought?
Oh, no, last week it was MSNBC. But anyways,
Yeah, well, they're pro also.
Anyways. Who's messing around with romantic courtship? I want to point out this was the very top story on CNN for a couple hours, I think on Tuesday. Or Monday. It was on Monday. It was the day before. Here's the opening line. I'm going to do the opening paragraph because it just explains everything. Cupid called. The big baby says, stop fooling around with romantic courtship. He's serious. Valentine's Day is fat boys' turf, and we should keep our mitts off. Couples are playing fast and loose with centuries-old traditions embedded in our DNA.
DNA?
Wait, okay.
Dino DNA.
I gotta say, he's saying, I gotta say, he basically just said that Valentine's Day has been embedded into our brains for hundreds of years.
No, our DNA, not our brains.
Our DNA. Sorry.
DNA. It's built in. I wonder which gene that is.
So this article is complete fluff. It's stupid. But I got to say the funniest part of this was for me is they had a list of acronyms you can use while text messaging.
We should have them try to guess.
Okay. Yeah, you haven't seen these.
I haven't seen these.
Okay.
You're gonna get so mad.
Dude, okay, first off, they don't even have DTF, which is the only acronym I would ever use.
These are all love related or bound.
Yes, these are all love related. So, RYS.
Something your something.
Yeah, I was thinking your. No idea.
Are you single? They could have used an
R. That's an A.
I got another one.
And that should be a U.
I got one here.
People use U all the time in the middle of acronyms. You don't use a Y.
That one's good too, though. 143.
143.
143.
Oh, this is the worst one.
That's the deal I got on chocolates the day after Valentine's.
The response to 143 is 1432.
That's the highway I take sometimes to work.
Okay, you give up?
Yeah.
It's I love you and I love you too, and it's
those the letters?
Yeah, number of letters in each word. 143.
Why do you say I love you?
Also, 1432 isn't even right because 2 has 3 letters in it. You fucking follow the rule the whole time. Fucking goddamn it!
My favorite. You're never gonna get this. DWPKOL.
Whoa!
DWPKOL. Do we...
Wait. PK...
Do we pussy kick old lady?
That's so much easier if you're looking
Deep,
at
wet, passionate kiss on the lips.
Ew. Wow. What?
I'm just going to text that to everyone I know.
And they're going to go, what the fuck is that? I don't know what that is because it's stupid.
Thanks, CNN, for bringing us these great acronyms. We'll have a link.
And letting us know that Valentine's Day has been built into us for hundreds of years, even though it's only existed for less than 100 years.
Well,
so that's in the present form.
In the present form, Valentine's Day wasn't.
It has been a thing for lovers for longer than that, but the thing is that it wasn't commercialized until
and a lot of cultures didn't celebrate.
Second half of last century, like it was like very recent.
So I ask you guys, please check out this article because some of these acronyms are fucking amazing.
Hey man, 6Y, sexy.
So as I said, this was a terrible podcast.
Yep.
It took so long. It's actually not that bad. So again,
it was pretty fun.
Send us emails at podcast@tipping40s.com or send us a voicemail at 218-666-8407.
And check out our new action-adventure RPG coming out. It's based on the card game Uno.
Oh, cool.
DWOPLOK.
It's called Duo.
Duo, yes.
Diggity dog. Breaking. Diggity dog. Breaking. Diggity dog. Breaking. Diggity dog. diggity, diggity dog. Breaking. Diggity, diggity.